Yeah. A lot of people texting in. Love the Harper Valley PTA. Several people like, Chad, we've got a ruling here. She had other hits. I said, yes, but it was country.
Not on the top 200.
And not on the Billboard regular Hot 100. This was it for her.
She is a one-hit wonder pop artist.
Pop artist, yeah.
She had multiple hits as a country artist.
And she was the first woman, Jeannie, to cross over and have a number one hit on the charts. I think at that time, Jimmy Dean, Sausage King, Big John, El Paso from Marty Robbins, and some other guy had a hit. But there were the only three, and she was the first woman to do it. So there you go. I see that they're looking at the redistricting cases. The SCOTUS is doing stuff. This is going to be huge. So if you guys don't know, SCOTUS is listening to today. They're going over how they look at the drawing of districts. And because gerrymandering or redistricting, depending on how you're looking at it, if you're losing your area, you're being gerrymandered. If your area is getting stronger, you're redistricting. Kind of the way it is. So what they're looking at is and it looks like they're leaning towards eliminating what they considered to be, race-based kind of drawing. So when you draw the lines. And because, you go look at these things are crazy. I mean, Illinois is awful. It'll be one street here. Like, you'll have a line of like one block, and then it'll skip 3 blocks, and then it's like 2 blocks over here, and then it's just 1 block across the whole city, and that's your district.
Well, if you look at the map for the 7th district, that's the special election was just done for the primaries.
Yeah.
That looks like they're trying to be New Hampshire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's upside down. It's just silly the way they get cut up.
It is so bizarre the way that they draw these things. And it is frustrating because, we've gone over here. If you haven't listened, people are like, where's your solution? We've gone over the solution. And the way that they've broken it down on numerous occasions is essentially you're going to divide up by the amount of people in certain geographical areas. So it could be 200,000, it could be 400,000. Some states it could be 700,000. And it's blocks. Think of it like rather than the squiggly lines or the octopus. Illinois got the octopus. Always that. So it is. We've got to do better. But it looks like they're going to get rid of it. And you can tell that by the way that they're asking. Kavanaugh said today, race-based redistricting can't last forever. And this is big because if this is all based on what's happening in Louisiana. And what that means is, so you can draw the lines in such a way now where you can, in theory, diminish a minority vote. But in doing so, you also put yourself in a position to water down your vote in certain areas, which makes it potentially more vulnerable. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Her name is Kylie. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. It's White Girl Wednesday. White Woman Wednesday.
She went to Brown. And don't say girl. You're misogynist.
First of all, misogyny. Secondly, I don't even know if that's what she identifies as. What was that thing you were looking at today? Demisexual?
Yeah, somebody said they were demisexual, so I went right past the article because I don't care.
There's a new one now?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh, good.
Let me tell you about demisexual. No, let me tell you why I don't want to hear about whatever. I think that's one of those ones where you're in love with the person, not a gender, if I'm correct. Or you only like Demi Moore, which would be also hilarious. So let's find out what demisexual means just in case. I can't believe they have.
I looked at the guy that she was with, and it didn't look like Demi Moore.
Okay, so, yeah. Demisexual is a sexual orientation. It's not. Where a person only feels sexually attracted to someone after a strong emotional bond has formed. Doesn't matter what sex it is. You have to have a bond with them where you feel closeness before you go, you know what? I could tap that.
Isn't that just called being a woman?
What?
Isn't that just called being a woman?
That's what I thought. Guys never have this. No guys are like, I'm totally demisexual.
I'll tell you I love you,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's going to be true.
Look, we're all demi-more-sexual, okay? So let's just settle down, all right? Just settle down. But this lady here, we know who she is. Her name is Kylie. She went
to Brown.
She went to Brown. Don't you ever think for a moment that she didn't go to Brown. And she wants to tell you all kinds of stuff. First and foremost, about being, if you're white and you're, like all three of us here, we're hetero, cis, normative gender. We believe in the assignment that we were given at birth, that our twigs and berries are good to go. But she's got some stuff for maybe the ladies out there who might be on the right side of the aisle.
A lot of MAGA husbands do not love their wives. What? Instead, they see their wives as live-in maids and somebody who can pop out kids for them so that they can continue on their white genes. They don't actually necessarily care about the women that are building their homes that they live with. And the reason I know that is because I have gotten so many DMs from MAGA men that I can't even list them all here. And they have all said that they find feminist women so attractive and that they would love to have a wife that doesn't depend on them, even though they put themselves into that position on purpose by wanting to be a provider type. So here are some of the messages just to prove to you this point, and also to show that a man doesn't have to like you to marry you. You just have to make his life better and more convenient. And the sooner more Republican white women realize this, the better our society will be. Because white women have historically and consistently voted against our own interests. And even if care for human rights isn't enough to move you, the fact that your husband probably doesn't love you and is messaging random leftist girls on the internet asking to see her coochie, hopefully that will be enough. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Why is she being gender stereotypical? Maybe these right-wing men are DMing, transsexuals.
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yeah, so she's being a little biased there.
She is being biased.
I wouldn't expect that from somebody that went to Brown.
No. And look, the only reason, if you're MAGA, that you love your wife is because she's going to give you white gene babies. That's it.
And make you a sandwich.
And no, never. Don't ever make a sandwich for a man. I don't care who you think you are. If a man asks you for a sandwich, you do not make it for him.
Better have mayonnaise on it.
BLT extra mayo. Thank you.
Thank you. So awesome. You know what's great? She went out with Chuck Norris, and now she's a trad wife. She did his laundry. That lady, she...
There's a violence joke in there, but I'm not going to make it.
My wife would fight her, says 1349. My wife definitely is not a live-in maid. Just look at the dishes. We got several make me a sandwich. Oh, my Lord. Look, I love her. I went on there. Some other people the other day were attacking her on the interwebs, and I went on there, and I go in there, and I said, stop it. You guys stop being idiots. Right? Like, she's our favorite. Stop it. Stop trying to get her canceled.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to change anything.
No.
Yeah, and if she goes away, that's one less regular segment we have on the Chad Benson Show.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go find other crazy. But you know what? We got a new segment starting Monday. Yeah. It's going to be Manic Man Monday, where men melt down, liberal men lose their mind, and some liberal women.
Pamela texted me and said, I'll make a man a sandwich if he makes me $1 million.
See, here's my thing. Okay, like that's the whole part of the deal that you make. If you're going to stay home and be a wife, I'm going to go out and earn a living, and that's kind of the contract. The social contract we signed was that. So, I mean, the house is your office. That sounds horrible. No, that's his. And then tell them the microphone, all this kind. That's my jam. That's this social deal that we made. And yeah, feeding comes with it. It's not hard to please a man. We're not a difficult species. We're not too different from the movie Jaws. If you've seen Jaws, they go, how do they live? They swim, they eat, and they make little babies. That's it. It's kind of their jam. It's kind of like us. I'm not a good swimmer. I'm not a strong swimmer.
I'm not a strong swimmer.
What's really weird about this is there's no actual male synchronized swimming in the Olympics. Yes, this will be
That's
first.
bigotry.
It is bigotry. Oh, my God, some of you guys. Stay in your lane, Chad. No way. Oh, my goodness. White jeans. Is she a fat? No, she is not a fat white lesbian, actually. She's actually a little easy on the eyes.
Well, then she's racist.
She is. She hates white people. But then she says she doesn't hate her white skin. Oh, we got one later where she talks about the extinction of the white man. It's coming. It is coming. That's all I'm saying, guys. It is coming. She is a little bit racist, though. But, you know, I've often wondered, the joke aside, are you really racist? Probably not. But this works for you. Like, this is the lane that you're in. You got a lot of followers. You're becoming a progressive hero. You're a little too out there in the progressive land for 99% of even my friends who are super, who are Democrats. But, you get away with it because you're kind of, you're kind of cute.
Well, but this is definitely one case where personality absolutely obliterates any value the looks have.
Yeah. Although I will say, I bet, because I'm still working to getting on, I bet you we have a conversation. I bet she's not as crazy as the 1-minute videos, although I hope she is. I do. I hope she
You
is.
think that's just her brand?
You hope it's legitimate.
I do. I hope she double downs on crazy. I hope she calls me a racist. Speaking of that, we're going to have to talk about...
You're a racist.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about the was it the GOP, the Young Republicans?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. If you guys haven't heard the news, they set out some, was it Discord they were on? I think.
I think it might have been.
Did you hear that, Ken? Did you hear about that?
I saw a blurb about it, but I didn't look into it.
Yeah.
What's up with it?
It's
a group, I take it, Young Republicans.
It's big, the Young Republicans. I mean, they got chapters all over. And in their private Discords, they said things like they called black people monkeys, watermelon people.
Goodness.
They said they loved Adolf Hitler.
What?
And gassing people was a good thing. And they didn't deny it. Politico got a hold of everything. And at first they said, well, maybe it was... some of this stuff wasn't as much as you think it is, but no, we're not going to deny it. They fired 2 people before the article got out. They fired 2 people since. It is awful. And, J.D. Vance came out and he said, oh, the pearl clutching, this Jay Johnson guy for the AG who said he wanted to kill. I said, no. Don't ad hominem where you're like, oh, well, they said something bad too. Guess what? Both are wrong. Saying that you should kill the former Speaker of the House and Virginia's kids so you could get gun control is awful and horrible. And saying this in text or tweet or Discord that you like Adolf Hitler and you call people of color watermelon people.
It's literally proving that the leftist stereotype of right-wingers to be true.
Yeah. It is, what were you thinking? First of all, it says Young Republicans. It goes up to 40. Secondly, which is great because maybe then I'm not as old as I think I am. But then, has nobody ever taught you? Yeah, you don't put anything in writing, even in text or jest. Oh, everybody's got that one friend. Let's be real. We all have that one friend or two where if they saw, your tweets back, your text back and forth, you'd be like, oh my God. Let's be real. Like I've been sending my friends the last couple of days, Mr. Rogers hanging out with.
Oh, my God. I should not be laughing at that stuff, but it is so fun.
And it is so good. Mr. Rogers hanging out with Tupac, which is hilarious. Mr. Rogers hanging out with Biggie. And Mr. Rogers doing a birthday cake with Pablo Escobar.
And Mr. Rogers having a slap fight with Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal as well. So, and that's because of the AI stuff. It's so brilliant. But you could be you look at that and you're like, I didn't create that, but still, you've got to be better and stop comparing here's the thing. You got to hold your own accountable for crap that they do. And this was stupid. This was absolutely asinine and stupid. And like Bell said, if you want to point right at what they did and say, this is exactly what the left thinks, and you kind of proven their point, it's hard to argue when you say you love Adolf Hitler. It's and you're calling people like, comparing them to monkeys or watermelon people or all the gay stuff they were saying was horrible. Just So, yeah, you got to hold people accountable. And, yeah, did some of them make mistakes? And was it lost in translation? You could maybe make some of that, but not the amount of text and stuff there was. It was not a good look.
And when you have people of color, whether they're Latino or black or whatever the case may be, and you have members of your community that are homosexuals, when they start hearing that kind of stuff coming from their own community, they start to feel a little alienated and maybe have a little bit of a wonder if they're in the right group of people.
Exactly. 100%. You got to do better. And stop. Like, when I saw J.D. Vance comparing what the AG candidate in Virginia put out there and saying, well, this is much worse. No, it's not. They're both bad. This doesn't have to be a mutual exclusive thing. They can both be awful. And then there's the Trump factor, which is prior to Trump, everybody would be fired and that guy would have dropped out. After Trump, man, we're only going to fire a few and this guy's not going to drop out, which is kind of weird. All right, missing show. Shame on you. Grab the podcast. We got more of our girl and yours, the one, the only, Kylie, coming up. What's this one going to be about? You're going to love this one. I guarantee it. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. That new car stuff is crazy.
Average monthly payment is $749.
And that does not count gas, and it doesn't count insurance.
Maintenance either.
So that's like $1,000 a month right there. $1,000 a month. And you're not getting something that is German. No. This is not one of those things where it's like, yeah, I paid $100 a month, but I got a brand new Audi. No, you're paying $2,000 for the Audi. And if you're getting one of those awesome trucks, you're paying $1,500, $2,000. It's insane.
It's why my hot take last week was buying new cars is stupid.
And I think we're at a record high number of car loan delinquencies.
That is not good. Again, it goes back to the economy, stupid. But they're also, here's the other thing. Not only is it $749, it's going out further than ever before with your payments.
Yeah, 6 years, up to 6 years is now, I think, the average.
And I've seen places offering 10 years.
Yeah, I have too.
10 years on a car is fiscal stupidity.
It's so stupid. It's one of those things, dude.
It's not Hot Take Tuesday, dude. Calm down.
Would you say, so you drops 20% when you drive off the lot and 15% a year just wait 5 years and the car's going to be free. That's the other thing with new cars. New cars are $30,000.
Wait until the new models come out and go back and buy the old ones. The old ones that are going to be discounted, or buy one that somebody else bought. And it's already depreciated that first 20%.
Or go to Craigslist, find some elderly lady who's had one of those cars that she drove it twice in 10 years, buy that thing. And worst case scenarios, you made a dangerous friend. Best case scenarios, you get one of those great finds where you bought, like a Honda Accord that she's had for 12 years that has 2,200 miles on it, and she never drove it because, she didn't need to. Because $750 for a car payment, and you were not talking insurance and stuff. That's just insane.
$750 for a car payment, and I mean, I know you don't have to get the oil change, something as simple as that, as often as used to be the case. But an oil change now it'll run you over $100.
Oh,
easy.
We were talking about that. Was it like 2 weeks ago? The girl downstairs, Rachel, woman, whatever. Great. She's awesome. And she said it was like $200 and some to get her oil, and all the fluids fixed and all this stuff. And a bunch of people chiming in going, yeah, they say it's $18.99, but it's never the oil you need. And one guy goes, I did it at home and it was still $70.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Well, and they're probably dinging her on the filters too.
Yeah, probably.
They always want you to change the cabin filter, the engine filter, which it's really easy to do on your own. And
you want us to flush your transmission while you're here?
Yeah. And do you want some windshield wiper fluid?
Blinker fluid.
Would you like some turning fluid for your turning?
This engine looks like it needs to be replaced. We could do that real quick for you.
Oh, goodness me. Hey, Chad, I just got a car, 84 months, 520 months. I had no choice. My car broke down. I have nothing. I have to stay working. Yeah.
Should have got it used.
Probably was. 520, 84 months. 84 months.
And you're paying interest.
Yeah. You won't start paying that car off for 6 years.
My car note for the what I'm driving now was 3 years, $125 a month.
That's why I don't mind not having air conditioning, boys.
No.
My Elantra is 12 years old, and I don't care. Oh, yeah. Just roll the window down and drink a lot of ice water.
To this day, the only regret I have, because I don't care about cars. My wife, she wanted me to have something nicer, but I would, if COVID would have hit just 2 months earlier, I'd still have my sweet Saturn. That was awesome. Stick thing. That thing it would have gone for 500,000 miles and had no payment. Which the sexiest thing about that? No payment. No payment.
That's what I like.
That is,
I mean, it's worth the maintenance costs to not have a monthly payment. Just save a little bit every month so the maintenance doesn't hit you hard.
Yeah, it is. And when the expense of life, it's getting worse and worse every day. It seems to be everybody's like, I thought I was going to get cheaper. It's not. And if you're, we talked the other day about people holding on to their jobs longer, doing everything they can.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there and you're seeing, hey, I got a 5% raise this year, but on average, quietly, inflation's probably up closer to 8 or 10% on a lot of stuff. You're looking around going, I took a 3 or 4% pay cut.
And if you're spinning your wheels.
Yeah. And if you're going to buy a car and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you got to pay that much a month. Oh,
good grief. $750 a month, man. I'm not doing that.
No. I watch on one of the TikToks. You ever seen the person walks around and asks all the people at the car lot what kind of car they drive and what their payment is? And you get some of these guys and they're like, I drive a 2025, Chevy Tahoe. My payment's $1,750 a month. Excuse me?
I mean, if you can afford it, great. But
yeah.
I don't know if that's
you can
a
afford
majority.
It's still stupid.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like going to the grocery store. I mean, I can afford some of this stuff, but I don't like paying that much for it.
No, I don't need caviar every day because it's gross. That's why I have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But if you can afford, just because you can, doesn't mean you should.
Right?
You haven't had peanut butter and caviar?
No.
Yeah,
Caviar's gross.
Need to try
it. It is gross. It is so gross. Escargot, also gross. All of those things those people tell you, they're gross. Just putting that out there. Coming up. White Woman Wednesday. We got some good white woman stuff. A bunch of other goodies as well. Somebody chiming in about what the young Republicans did, which was awful. You got some questions about that. A bunch of other stuff, some government shutdown stuff. It is Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. White Girl Wednesday coming up. Check us out across all of our social media on the old YouTube. I was seeing today, YouTube is not just throttling the old world of TV. It is just destroying everything. I mean, regular television is disappearing at a rate that is so incredible. And I was like, wow. And you know what else is coming? I don't know if you've... I got sucked into this. Have you guys ever seen those micro dramas?
What do you mean?
So they're called micro dramas. There's all these little companies that are doing these things, and they're shot in like 1 minute segments, and they may be 30 segments. So it might be a 30-minute thing, and you go from thing to thing, and they're just called micro dramas. It's kind of like what Quibi wanted to do. Remember Quibi? That they spent all that money to get all those big stars to make 5-minute movies and 10-minute movies, and then they opened up on like a Monday, and by Tuesday we're bankrupt, and that cost billions. Well, this is the same. Micro dramas are massive, and if you've never seen them, I'm ashamed to say it. It's kind of like another one of those Hallmark kind of things. They're stupid and they're funny, but I watch it on my phone. And I'm like, ooh, I got to find out where this person's going. Wait, this girl's in love with this guy, and she treats him like crap, but he's an astronaut, and he's going back to space after their divorce? What? I got to find out how it ends.
Because he's looking for Santa Claus.
Maybe. But nobody's watching television. But you can check us out on YouTube, because that's where we are, baby. As well as Rumble, X, Facebook, and Twitch. Do you ever go to Twitch? Find out how we're twitching over there?
No.
Okay. We're on Twitch, though, just in case you guys want to know that. just in case. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages, speaking of somebody who needs her own show, she's white, she's a woman, and it's Wednesday.
Sad thing about a lot of white women is I think they would rather marry a white supremacist than be single. It says a lot because being single is not at all a punishment, especially in white social circles. If you are unmarried by like 25 in a lot of areas, people are going to start asking questions. And although people don't explicitly state that they want you to have a white husband, that nonetheless comes through in their question. Oh, are you dating somebody? What does he look like? What color hair does he have? What color eyes does he have? Does he have good Christian values? And I think that sort of pressure, familially or community-wise, builds up over time so that white women end up becoming MAGA Republicans, almost culturally pushed on white women in rural areas. But I would like to say, if you are a white woman, you should absolutely not feel pressured to get married. And in fact, being single is absolutely lovely, and it is significantly better than being with somebody who is racist and controls your every move. Do not let the person that you marry make you into a worse person, a bitter person, a jealous person. Marry somebody who uplifts you, or don't get married at all. You have power as a woman, so use it wisely. And do not marry somebody who doesn't deserve you and who is generally bigoted.
Well, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that unless you're bigoted. So then that's a perfect match. If you're not bigoted, then no, don't do that. It's like, man, I really loved him, and we got along great, except for the part where he was a Nazi. What is that about? And she's like, I've dated men like this. Who are you dating that's a Nazi? Or that has that kind of, I'm curious. Is anybody, you figure you would learn that. I mean, I don't know when you spring that on somebody. That you're.
Oh, by the way,
I'm a card-carrying member of the Klan.
That's probably a third date kind of thing.
Yeah. But by then I love him, and I think I could change him. I think I could. Men want to rescue women, and women want to change a man. You know how many of those things work? None. But you're right though. When do you bring that into the conversation about how maybe you're a bigot?
Would you like to go to a social meeting with me?
Would you like to? What kind of meeting? We meet at night. There's laundry.
And refreshments.
Got to have refreshments. Just
cookies and Kool-Aid.
Got to have snacks. It's just bizarre. And I've dated men like, wait, what? How? There's no way you dated somebody like that. There's just no way. There's no way. I could not even for the life of me think that you would ever go out once on a date with somebody who because you already know that if the minute you go out on a date, that person's probably a Nazi because you're already thinking that. You know you are. You're already thinking that. Speaking of thinking, let's not do any stinking thinking. The government super closed right now.
With regard to the timeline of the CR, it would do us no good to pass yet another CR out of the House because it will meet the same fate. Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats want to close the government down. They are gleeful about this.
They're gleeful about it. First of all, don't use that word, Mike. It's just a silly word. Secondly, I don't ever for a moment think that Chuck Schumer's gleeful. I don't think he has it in his body to be gleeful. It's shut down because you guys want it shut down. You guys do. You want it shut down because the goal is to force one of you to make a move and once that happens, then you figure you got them. Okay, so they made that move. They were the ones who came to us. Now that they've come to us, we know we've got them, which gives them another L in their corner heading into next year's midterms, which is all that matters.
It's time to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Yeah. It's time to prevent tens of millions of Americans from experiencing dramatically increased health care premiums.
What are they doing to Hakeem Jeffries that he has to be outdoors? Did they really lock the door so nobody could get in? That is healthcare premiums. And when we talk about these things, guys, I want you to understand, you got to come at it in two different, you can't just come at it as a singular issue. Well, I paid this. Everybody should deal with it. You have to think voters because you're trying to continue to hold on to power. The Republicans are holding on to power because the Democrats are useless. It's not like they're doing anything amazing. It's quite the opposite. They have flailed. I'm not talking about Trump. Everybody's going, oh my God, you hate Trump. No. They're tell me the great stuff that this Congress has done. Virtually nothing. If it wasn't for Trump doing executive orders, there'd be nothing going on. So to hold on to power, you've got to be able to do something. And the goal is, it's just easier to make sure that they fail. And right now, both sides are getting the blame for it. So that it hasn't gotten to that tipping point, which is what they need, 50.1%. So when you're thinking about this, it depends if you look at Kaiser Foundation or some of the, CBO projections, 20 to 25 million people are going to see their rates go up 75 to 100+% if the subsidies go away. That's a shock to the system. That is. Although you are spending $1,500 on a car payment, so, maybe it's not that much of a shock. So that goes up there. You're also going to see massive jump in people who have health care at work, the potential to see 18, 20+% jump there. You start adding that together, somebody's going to looking for somebody to blame. And with the amount of money that we waste, like we just gave $20 billion to Argentina and Malay, because why? You're trying to calm everybody down, smooth the currency out, and hope that he gets reelected. Which is why? Why? Do I like these subsidies? No, I don't like government being involved in so many things. But they're involved. And how many times do you see government goes, you know what, we should just let this sunset. We'll be fine. It isn't going to happen.
Well, we got rid of the Patriot. Never mind.
Yeah, the Patriot Act. We got rid of, oh, yeah. No. The same people that are whining that they were spied on are the same people.
They're the ones that keep saying it's okay to spy on us.
Yeah, they're the same ones that keep signing up for that over and over again. Can't believe they spied on us. So when you think about this, you got to think about it in the vote side of stuff, because I guarantee you 20+ million Americans see a 50, 60, 70, 100% jump in their deductibles, their premiums, their spike in all these other things. Everybody's like, well, I pay this. Yeah, I did as well. But you know what? I was blessed to be able to pay it. But next year, people are going to be looking for a scapegoat, and they're going to be looking for somebody to hold responsible for this. And they're going to look over and go, yeah, Republicans, you guys wanted your tax credits. You got it for the wealthy. Hope you're happy. You took away all kinds of crap. And for what? So look at it in a much different way than just, oh, well, I pay this, so everybody else should deal with it. Woo-wee. Goodness me.
I can't wait to see what it looks like when we finally hit the point where we have to have austerity because of the federal debt, and people are going to be freaking out over that.
That'll look like The Walking Dead.
Yeah. That, you know what? We have no idea what that looks like anymore. Think about this. Just to give people an example, the difference between us and the rest of the world. We had a pandemic where we shut most of the economy across the country down off and on for 2 years. Inflation went through the roof because people had more money in their pockets than ever before and couldn't stop buying stuff. That's how incredible. We don't know what austerity looks like. We have no idea.
We don't want to know.
No, we don't. Just keep printing that money. Just keep printing it.
Keep on printing it.
Keep printing it. Keep throwing money at it. Keep printing. Just keep doing it. We look over at Europe and we laugh because France is trying to go, okay, guys, you can't retire at 50 with 120% of your salary and you're going to live for the next 60 years. That just isn't going to happen. We're going to raise it to 52. Then nobody works for a week and they're like, fine, we want. Do you think we're going to do that? We would lose our mind.
Well, at some point, they'll just make it Logan's Run, where once you hit 32, you're checked out.
Yeah. You know what's going to be funny, though, is when we were talking about it the other day, when Social Security kind of runs out of money and they have to cut it by 15 or 20%, people are going to get their checks and be like, you guys were serious about that. Yeah.
Man, more than 10 years ago, whenever, I was living in Idaho and, covering our elected officials, their members of Congress were sounding the alarm back in the early 2000s that our debt is unsustainable, and it is the greatest risk to our national security.
Absolutely.
And nothing is being done about it.
No, they kick the can, they print more money. And think about this. If you are in the stock market since, 2008 or 9, you've never known anything other than a massive bull market. We've had no pullback. We've had none of those things. They just keep printing and just keep throwing money at the market. They keep doing all these things. And like you said, how long have we been talking about we're going to go bankrupt? Forever. And nobody's taking it serious. Ooh, crazy. Coming up, more stuff, including a white woman that has some serious issues. And we pointed it out here, and I've been pointing it out for years. And everybody yelled at me, like, no, you shouldn't be that way. No, I was right. I was right. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Another block. Kick, save, and a beauty. Block. And it's going to be, I know I appointed them, but that's because I didn't know he was deep state. And because of that, they're doing stuff. So this is, now, is this the lawsuit where it's because they're closed, they decided to fire everybody? Is this, I don't even know. There's so many lawsuits.
Yeah, that's what this lawsuit is attempting to block.
Okay.
And this federal judge has temporarily blocked it as of today.
So many lawsuits. Speaking of lawsuits, I told everybody back in the day, don't do it. But all the people are out there in front of the court going, we should free Britney. We should free Britney. No, you should never have freed her because she wasn't captive. She's crazy. That's different.
In excerpts obtained by the New York Times, Federline claims that when their two sons were younger, they did not feel safe at Spears' house, writing, they would awaken sometimes at night to find her standing silently in the doorway, watching them sleep, with a knife in her hand. A representative for Spears firing back at Federline, telling People magazine, once again, he and others are profiting off her. And sadly, it comes after child support has ended with Kevin.
I saw her the other day with a butcher knife, dancing around, half naked, in a house that was so disheveled and gross. She's not well. She isn't.
No, she's getting worse.
She's getting way worse. If next week comes, and God willing, I hope it never does, and somebody said, oh, did you hear what happened to Britney? She died. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think anybody would be.
No, absolutely not.
And all those people holding up signs, free Britney, it's wrong, Dad's stealing from her. Well, guess what? Maybe you didn't know. That's what we're saying. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. You ever see the show? Shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.